We were meeting people all the time. And I've never been anywhere in my travels where I met more people and had more access to people on the streets. I mean, you see a lot of people, you bump into a lot of people in Europe, but you don't talk to people all the time. When I was in Iran, everybody, there was soldiers, bookstore people, and so on, wanted to talk. And I did this thing where I would, I'm tall and I don't look very Iranian, and I would get, as soon as I got eye contact, that's what I needed to do. As soon as I got eye contact, people would say, welcome, hello. And in Iran, a foreigner is a gift from God, literally. I mean, they treat you like a gift from God. That's in their culture. And they would always take very good care of us. I was stuck in a traffic jam. You just saw that. And the car next to us said, roll down your window. And they said, you've got a guest in the back seat. Give him this bouquet and apologize for the traffic jam. I mean, can you imagine that on our streets? And I just shook my head and I thought, there's a lot about this country I didn't appreciate until I came here, you know? You've got a foreigner in your back seat. Take this bouquet. It was like that. So I walk around and I get eye contact with people. They say, hello. I say, hello. Invariably, they'd say, where are you from? And I would never say America. I would say, where do you think I'm from? And they would guess. And I'd make them guess. And they'd guess 5 or 6 countries. I can't remember once that they'd get it right. Finally, they'd run out of guesses and they'd say, where are you from? And I said, United States. Ooh, America. Then they go, it kind of shocked them, and then they'd think, what are you doing here? And then they'd say, welcome. And then usually they'd say, I like America, or something like this. And then we'd talk politics, and they'd tell me what they think of our president, or something like this. But honestly, I didn't know what to expect, and I have never been in a place where, ironically, where being an American was such an asset. It was thoroughly an asset to be an American individual there, okay? So make of that what you will. I just think it was a fascinating thing. I went into a bookstore. It was the equivalent of the U bookstore. Fat, beautiful books, lots of poetry. I had to be taught that they read them from what we call the back to the front. And I just admired the books. And then I said, they brought us tea and everything. And I was leaving, and the lady said, I wasn't going to buy anything. So she said, here, take one of these as a gift from us. You know, and it just doesn't happen at the university bookstore here. But again, it was that kind of like, how do I handle this? Welcome. I mean, it was just quite nice. When you go to Iran, it is clear from day one that these people have traded away their freedom for a theocracy. This really bugs me. I had the creeps because of the bigness of government and the lack of freedom. You know, I say a lot of progressive things, and a lot of people think I'm not appreciative of freedom. I am such a fan of freedom. I mean, that's why I travel, is to learn and understand this kind of dynamic better. And there are reasons Americans trade away our freedom, aren't there? We've been known to trade away our freedom. We've done a lot of it lately. And there are reasons that Iranians trade away their freedom. And when I went there, I realized it's motivated by fear and love, okay? They love their kids. They want to raise them like good Muslims. They're afraid of encroaching Western values. They've got reason to be afraid of Western imperial culture. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm just saying I'm trying to understand what motivates a country to have a guy like Ahmadinejad as their president. There are reasons for this. And I believe it's fear and love. Now, when you go to Iran, you see how people love their children. And you hear them talking about Imam Khomeini, revolution is the revolution of values. It's been a big catchword in our political discourse for the last 15 years, I think. Family values, right? And family values can be any number of things. Well, in Iran, they don't want their little girls to be grown up like Britney Spears or Paris Hilton. That's what terrorizes these parents. And they will willingly give up the separation of mosque and state in order to have a theocracy, knowing they're going to trade away their freedom, which they wish they didn't have to, but their concern for their kids and the environment they're going to grow up in trumps their need for freedom, okay? Again, I don't know what the answers are. I think it's very complex. But what strikes me is how little energy Americans put into understanding this before just saying, they're the axis of evil, and then we're the great Satan. And there's this kind of bombast that we have to deal with. And the bombast, what I've learned is politicians on either side shoring up their base. Why would one politician say bomb, 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 bomb Iran, and another one, even from the other party, say we'll obliterate Iran if they do this? And then why would they say we'll bomb them out of existence, you know? Who are they talking to? I don't think they're talking to people in the other country. I think they're shoring up their base. So Ahmadinejad's base is the small town, frightened, fundamentalist, less educated majority of the population in Iran, I would imagine. When we hear that discourse, I think we've got to understand that. And when we look at Iran, I think we've got to understand that there are ways when we can have this people-to-people get-together that undercuts the fear and makes it tougher for them to demonize us. But we have to understand the roots of this.